Hey, here we go. Now, each class is in a slightly different place, so you'll have to skip ahead maybe to a part if your class already knows this part. But first, let's see. Everybody should be able to go to grade 5 and to Scratch. Later on, you'll need to come back here and go to February, and I'll show you that in a little bit. So here we are in Scratch. Now, all of you, yes, all of you, even the ones who are thinking, no, not me, yes, all of you can go to sign in, every single one of you. And when you hit sign in, you should use just your regular username, like you're signing in to take an AR test. So, if I use Isaac as an example, he would do IS Nelson and he's going to put in his lunch number twice. That should work for everyone. Now, for those of you that I didn't see last week, just try that and try your lunch number twice and try your usual sign in. If for some reason you can't get signed in and I'm not there to help, then you can work with somebody else today and I'll be back to help you next week and we'll get you up to speed really quickly. So now, those of you who started last week, you'll need to go here to the My Stuff folder and hopefully find what you did last week. I'm going to go to the My Stuff folder anyway for everybody because everybody can actually do that. And if you don't have anything here for the new project, you can go and just hit new project. Some of you who started last week might be able to go here to probably your top thing and hit see inside. And mine, the one we're going to look at is down here called soccer game. We're going to go see inside the soccer game. Yeah, here's the idea of the soccer game. When I hit space, my goalie, that's Hulk, he starts moving. And you see I have a soccer ball down here. I'm trying to score a goal by kicking the soccer ball to the target. So I have to look to see when that soccer ball is near the target. Or when the goalie and the target are not in the same place. And then I hit K for mine to try to score. And if it does it right, I get a goal. If you notice, I have score up here and number of balls remaining there. The problem I've had with mine that I just have never taken time to fix is Hulk does not do a very good job. Seems like no matter what happens, I always score a goal. Even if I try. Oh, now I have enough score. My score is high enough now that I've made it to a score of 4. And so now I end up with more Hulks. Should be harder to hit a goal. I still hit a goal. And my goal is scored when, a miss, when it hits this net back here. We'll talk about that in a little bit too. All right. Now, here's what I want you to notice to start with. I have right over here, I have the background. And if you want to use one of their backgrounds for something, you should start there. Go right down here to this little picture of the mountains and the moon or the sun and see what they have in there. Because if I tap on that, this pops up and you have a lot of options here, depending on what your game's going to be. Mine is a soccer game, but you could do something else where you're trying to hit something. It could be like darts. You could make it, I think a couple people are trying to make a basketball game. And, it could be, I'm looking at this brick wall here. You could do like a dodgeball game where you're trying to throw a ball at somebody or Maybe you're trying to avoid being hit. But the general idea is to try to get a game where you have something that you're trying to hit, like the target, and somebody trying to stop you. That's the general idea. So you want to look for a backdrop, and then for what we're doing today to get started, if you do end up doing a soccer goal, you could find a soccer goal and a target and a goalie and a ball. So all of those things are the ones to start with. Because the goal would be see if you can get the background in, see if you can get your goal in, get a target and the goalie, and see if you can get your target and your goalie to move. That would be the part to start with today. And all the information you're going to need, I'm going to give you that somewhere too. Now, just to start you out, if I was looking for a background, of course, let's say you wanted to play your game in the gym. Search for gym wallpaper. And let's see if something comes up. Not exactly the gym I was thinking of. How about school gym wallpaper? See if that gets any better. There we go. So if you find one that you like and you want to use it, oh, what looks good? I kind of like this one, nice and bright. If you do find one and search for an image like that you really like, then tap on it, wait for it to come up. And this is one where you two finger tap and you have to save the image as. So here on my Chromebook, hopefully you'll be able to see this. When you save it, I like it's something temporary. I like to save it here in downloads. And the nice thing is when you save it in downloads, the one you save will go right at the top. And that's going to be true for everything you save today. So then, if I go back and I'm going to load a new background, I would go here to this little arrow. And again, go to the downloads and hopefully it'll be there. So I went to downloads, and right here you will see, among other things, there's the gym, and that'll bring it in. I don't want to right now. I still already have my background. Same thing for these. When you get a goalie, a target, a net, soccer net, and a ball, this is the net actually that scores the goal. Later we'll get to that, so don't worry about that yet. But all of these things, the thing you want to search for is a PNG. So if I remember correctly, what I did is I searched for Lego Hulk PNG, because that PNG thing will give you an image without a background. So now hopefully one of these should look a little bit familiar. If you look at mine, his arms are on the sides. Looks like that one right there. You find one you like, one that looks like somebody blocking a shot. Anything that looks good. Does not need to be Lego, of course. Does not need to be Hulk. Just anything. You just have to make sure that when you tap on it, that you have the checkerboard background there. So then the same thing. Two finger tap, save image as. Save it in your downloads. And then right here this time, this one is only for the backdrops. This will be for everything else. All right, so anything that's going to be part of it other than the background needs to be one of the sprites down here. You're going to load it like that. You can use sprites they have because, again, they have a big collection of things there you could use. I think somebody else was talking about I can't remember what somebody was doing in one of the classes about what kind of a game. But pretty much we can get anything to work as long as you have some stuff that's moving and you're trying to hit a target or throw something, or you could have throwing a football, have a guy playing defense there, and a receiver moving back and forth. All right. Once you get everything in, then the goal would be to get things moving. All right, now I'm going to show you where things are. In February, what I have put in here is all the stuff that you need. But I only want you to look at part of it for now, because you got to get all your stuff in there, decide what your game is going to be about. So this is all the stuff. I have something for what do you do with the background. You do not need to worry about that there. You don't need to worry about the big goal and what it does. Everything is color coded, though. You can say, oh, I want to find this switch backdrop thing, and match the color purple. That one's going to be in here. Switch backdrop. It's right there. So everything will be there, but you don't need to worry about that yet. Stuff to worry about would be here on this one. So for the Hulk, I said the stuff you want to focus on for now would be everything up through probably right here. Even I could say right to the weight. So how does the game start? Mine starts with spacebar, and at the beginning of it, you tell Hulk where to go. X of 8, Y of negative 31. And then I put one of these forever things, and I'm going to say glide 2 spots, random X and Y, and wait for a little bit of time. Now let me explain what this does. Let's go back to Hulk here. Here is, here's what I have. I moved around. I said, okay, when the game starts, I want Hulk to be like right there where the arrow is. And if you look right here, right now it's moving, but if you look right here where the X and Y are, that tells you the numbers for where I want Hulk to start. You notice I used X of 8 and Y of negative 31. And I kind of played with it to see what happens. Like when I hit space, where does Hulk go? So X of 8 is about right there, and then negative 31. So it's like right there. That's what I said. I want Hulk to go right there where the arrow is when the game starts. All right. Then, so anytime the game starts, that's where Hulk goes. Then, after that forever, I want Hulk to glide for 1 second. And this is all in blue. This is motion. Glide for 1 second. And then I have these random numbers for X and for Y. X is across. Y is up and down. So I said random numbers, negative 148 to 157. So when I have my soccer goal here, I put my soccer goal here, and you can see the X right here is negative 144. So I said, okay, Hulk, you're going to go from one side of the net to the other. So that's where I got those numbers for X. Negative 148 to 157. And I messed with them until I saw Hulk moving the way I liked. And then for the up and down, I said, well, Hulk, I want you to sometimes go as high as, I even said as high as 42, which is about right there, and as low as, I only let them go negative 90. So basically the idea is I use the numbers that are here. Now, where did I get the random things? They're in green. And when you grab one and pull it over here, it will light up, and I'll show you that. It might have a number there, but if I take this random green thing here, if you see it, hopefully you can see it lighting up, and it goes in there. So that's the important thing, because if you get this part done, where to go, how to glide, and wait, then your goalie is going to move. Then the next thing I would do is I would go to the bullseye. Now, I have to admit, I have this part here on the bullseye. I'm not really sure why I have that. Because this is like the goalie stuff. So I think we're going to ignore this. A lot of this should look the same as Hulk. So like when the spacebar is pressed, I told the goal to go 0, or the target to go to 0, 0. Now 0, 0 is right in the middle of the screen, if I can find it here. So I'm just saying target, go right to the middle. And then same thing, forever, glide, and I did random numbers, and these are the same numbers I said I just want that target to go all over and go randomly, but I made it wait a little bit longer. So that's the thing you should focus on today. If you get that far, is can you get the target to move? So you might by the end of today have, your backdrop, your main, your defensive person, like Hulk, your target, and then if you get the soccer ball, you can even do that. And the part for that you really want to do is this part right here. When the space bar is pressed, I told the soccer ball where to go, and I wanted it to go right here. And those numbers almost match, the 15 and the negative 178. And then I said set the size to 100%. That becomes important later because as my soccer ball gets kicked, it actually gets smaller as it goes toward the target, which it should since it's going further away from you. So this helps you kick, helps you get the soccer ball where it needs to go. Then here's the thing about kicking. When K is pressed, and again, this glide thing shows up in everything so far. I said glide to the X position of bullseye and the Y position of bullseye, and then change the size by -2. So that means it gets smaller when it gets there. So what this means is when I hit K, when the game has started, the soccer ball goes to wherever the bullseye is at that time. So if the bullseye is right here and I hit K, it's going to travel there to where it is. Now the bullseye is going to move, and that's okay, but the soccer ball will go to where it was at that time. Those are the two things that you could try to get through. So if you get all of that done, then that means you're going to have a backdrop, you have a defensive person, a target, and a ball, and they're all going to move, and you can kick the ball. And that is a great place to be for today. Now, back to this. This shows you what to do for Hulk. This shows you what to do for the target. You remember, we're going to ignore this part. There's that there. And then this one shows you what to do for the soccer ball. Now, if you're looking at this and you want to see stuff bigger, go down to these arrows here, hit the arrows. Should get nice and full screen. You can look at it closer. You can hit escape. The escape button on your keyboard goes back to this, so you can go back and forth. All right. So see how far you get. Hopefully everything will go well, and I know you're going to do a great job at it. So see how it goes.